Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Mwezi One habitat of the world's biggest analog, or Mwezi One mission, rather, the world's biggest analog. If you're watching us for the first time on LinkedIn, we don't often come to LinkedIn, and we're delighted to have our supporters on LinkedIn hear more about what we have been doing for the last 10 days, which is this is our penultimate day. Tomorrow we'll be bringing you the last, absolutely last briefing, as will have left the mission, if not the facilities, by tomorrow. But today we are going to be talking about the process of demitting or decommissioning this historic mission. Again, if you're watching us for the first time, Mwezi One, where Mwezi stands, the Swahili word for moon, is the only African habitat participating in the world's biggest analog. The world's biggest analog is the first experiment ever done, bringing together lunar and Martian analog habitats around the world to experiment with how are we going to live together as a spacefaring civilization. Imagine, if you will, sorry, imagine, if you will, a situation where we have different countries, companies, and organizations having off-world settlements. In our case here at Open Africa, we have been working with the term reserve or preserve to bear in mind that we consider celestial bodies part of a global commons, and I know it's up for grabs. So, but many people are using the term settlements. We certainly are avoiding the use of the term colony, because those of us who are from the global south and those of us who have been colonized in the global north have major challenges with the term colony. And so we here at the Lunar Reserve, if you will, which will become the African Demonstration Project, are happy to say we're one of 5 lunar analog habitats in the world's biggest analog project, and there are 10 Martian analogs, and then there's one interstellar habitat that is modeling living in a spaceship while on the way to somewhere. So with that, again, today is our last day. We've been here and we've been inside. We've been on the side since October the 6th, but we did not begin our mission until the 13th, the evening of the 13th, the late evening of the 13th. Why? Because, first of all, what is important to note is that the astronauts, the analog astronauts from the Machakas Gala rover crew, who are first ever analog astronaut community to be developed in Africa, all of them under the age of 25, were very heavily involved also in the construction of the habitat. So I want to give a big shout out to those young people for making that effort and been really demonstrating leadership, courage, and perseverance. And secondly, another reason why is because when we got here, we had so many things to do to prepare. We are out in Marsabit County, which is the northern region of Kenya. We are about maybe like 2 hours drive from the border with Ethiopia. And this area is very rocky and has the suitable conditions to be an excellent analog site. And this is why it was chosen. However, our site that we should have been on was not sufficiently suitable, believe it or not, for us to do all we need to do to get ready in 6 days and be on site and ready to participate in a global analog. So we moved next door to the grounds of the school, the Tiga Elementary School, that had more surface area cleared of the big rocks so that we could build these hexayurts that have been our home for almost 2 weeks. Let me state that we are staying in this lunar base. Mwezi One mission is in a lunar base, the Open Africa lunar base, and it has 2 buildings or 2 facilities. One is operating as the habitat, and it's a 7-cell hexayurt structure. We in Mission Control Center are in a similar 7-cell hexayurt center. Both both facilities were built with the same design. There is a tall 8-foot hexayurt that is in the center, and then each side of the hexayurt has a hexayurt attached to it, and those are the regular 4-foot wall size high. And we'll be sharing pictures later on both the Futures Forum and all of these links that you're listening from. So please be sure to visit our page as well as to visit our website for further information. But these hectares have been our home for the last 12 days or 10 days. And today I think would make tomorrow be, the end of today will be day 11. So we would have successfully executed a mission that has run for 13 to 26 at the parameters. We didn't enter until quite late on the 13th. So for us at Mwezi 1, our full complete days would have been from the 14th a complete day up until today, when our astronauts will exit the habitat at 4 o'clock. We actually were supposed to enter at 4 o'clock on the 13th, but due to other technical delays with our system, we were not yet fine-tuned some of the power systems. And I must also add that the power system in this location was also constructed by students from the Machakos University Department of Electrical Engineering, the Innovation Club. Another thing for which we're very proud, and just want to say that this is a series of so many firsts, that as the first mission director, habitat director for an African analog, I'm quite proud to call this crew stalwarts and people in this process. So having said that, I want to talk a little bit about the decommissioning, and I'm going to bring on first our logistics director in mission control. The way we organized the mission control directors were us adults, and then we had specialists were from among the young want to be analog astronauts, and we have 7 from Machakos University and 1 from Uganda, who is serving as our mission commander as an experienced analog astronaut. And then on the mission control side, we have 7 analog astronauts in training, and we also have our systems engineer who was part of the team that built the solar power system, which has totally served us well. And we're very extremely proud of these young people for the work they have done. So we're going to begin first with our logistics director. We'll talk a little bit about the process of taking inventory once more, making sure we have enough food and water for the next 24 hours. We'll be leaving out of here by this time tomorrow, next 24 hours, and what has to happen to make sure that we leave Marsabit and the grounds of the Teague Elementary School the way we found it. And I'm turning you over to Nathaniel Mark.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Disembark. I'm in charge of logistics and supplies. And as we are coming to the end of our mission, today we'll be doing some clearing up. We'll be carrying out inventory to know the number of items that we have, and also allocate and donate some to the specific groups which have been already highlighted by Dr. Claire. Then again, we are going to carry out some clearing of the waste, the water bottles, and also the other litters that are lying around. When it comes to water, we'll make sure that the water that is available, that will be available for use, will be donated to the community. So far we are on the last hours of this mission, and we are glad that the supplies have been quite enough, that we haven't run short of any. And for that will be remaining donations and gifts, which will be distributed amongst the various groups that Dr. Claire Nelson has already highlighted. So I'm glad we are doing fine. So as we complete, I'm happy. Also, the exercise will end successfully. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so thank you so much. That is for logistics and supplies. And I must remind the audience that the way this system works, the mission control logistics and supply provided the habitat with all the food. So originally our design had intended that the mission would actually prepare their own food, but it is just because there was too much newness, too much effort. We thought it was best to have the astronauts focus their attention on the research at hand. They had a lot of research to do, and we want to make sure research had fidelity. We didn't want to be thrown out of the project after all of this effort. So we wanted to make sure that they had the time to focus on the research that was selected by the world's biggest analog. For our part, we have our own studies. We're studying the let's say the usability, functionality, and durability of the habitat structure itself, which was made with plywood and lumber and plastic flooring, for example. In this habitat where we are, in this physical facility where we are, rather, we're having lumber flooring. They kind of, I don't know if they're held up either. Everything has challenges, but it's really good because now we know for stage 2, when we come to do this again, we have some better ideas of how we can improve on this design. Let me turn you over to our systems engineer, solar power engineer, Mr. Evans Nguni, who is going to talk about the process of decommissioning the power system. Over to you, Evan.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Evan Gundi. I've been serving as the Systems Engineering Officer at the Mission Control Center of Open Africa Habitat, of Open Africa Base Camp. Today, as we've heard, it's the last day that we'll be spending here with the Habitat crew in isolation. So, of course, there is decommissioning of the power system that we designed to offer solutions to meet energy needs for the base camp. That includes the Mission Control Center and the Habitat as well. So today my plan is to start decommissioning the solar power plant. So before doing the decommissioning, I'll ensure that the batteries are fully charged to supply power throughout the night and ensure that by tomorrow we won't have maybe power outages. So after ensuring that the batteries are 100% charged, I'll begin decommissioning, as I said, of the solar panels. Then tomorrow, the work that will remain is only disassembling the battery system, the inverter, and boxing it for transportation. So that is it for the decommissioning part of the energy system. Other than that, we've been doing some studies of energy performance. That is studying the daily energy consumption data, and also the daily energy harvest data, and maybe the state of charge of the battery over the 24 hours of each and every day. So we've even though we will have a final documentation showing like detailed information of the energy performance, I'm comfortable to come to a conclusion that the power system have served us really well. So it has held to the design, and we are happy to scale it for future iterations. So that is it. Signing out. Thank you. Bye.
All right. So thank you. We'd love to hear, while we wait for our communications director to come up, I'd love to give the floor to the Habitat to see what messages they might want to share with the audience. You are live on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on LinkedIn. So please feel free to share. I'm not sure if Mission Commander is there, or Harris, or whomever, but is there anything you want the public to know about your decommission process, your preparations to return to the real world? Anything you'd like to share about what you're looking forward to, what you're apprehensive about? Hello, are you hearing me, or are you frozen?
Hello, we are hearing you loud and clear. Can you hear us well? Can you hear us well?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Are you hearing us? Are you hearing us? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, are you hearing us?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Good. Hello, everyone. I am Mary Patience, Mission Commander, and this is my crew that has been able to stay till the end. It has been a great mission thus far, and we look forward to spreading all the new information that we have gotten from this to the outside world. Sadly, three of the members of the crew were not able to make it till the end. However, we still acknowledge that they did a great contribution to the success of this mission, and a lot of what is to be delivered has a piece of their work on it. As we get ready to decommission, we plan on doing more outreach to the people outside. Personally, I plan on writing a paper.
Wow. We have again a communication disruption. Hopefully they'll come back. But as you heard, three of the crew were unable to complete. They had cabin fever and had to demit office. So we are down to five, but we're still very proud that they managed to make it up to 7 days or 8 days before they could manage the last 48 hours. And that's kind of a sad that they didn't have the capability to do that. If we could hear from our communications officer, and while we wait on them to return, let's see if we can figure this out. Okay. All right. Let me see. And let me bring Bernard up here for the time being. All right.
Okay, so hi everyone. So my name is Zipporah. I've been in charge of communications, assisting Nixon as well. So in terms of decommissioning and coming to the end of this experiment, so today we are expecting to the computers that we've been using for the program. So we have 3 computers that we've been using in the mission control to support the Habitat team. So we will be donating those computers to Tiigo School, which has been a key stakeholder in this project, and they've supported us. So we will be donating the 3 computers to the school. We also have the Purple Air, which has been helping us monitor the air quality, humidity, temperature, and everything. So we will also be donating that to the school to help monitoring the air quality in the region, and also, ensuring that the air they're breathing and everything is, quality, and it's also good as well. So it has been a great experience from my side and also from the team in the mission control. And yeah, we say kwa mwezi kwa nyota. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So, friends, we are coming to the end of this session. Unfortunately, we lost the habitat. They don't seem to be able to rejoin us, but you'll be hearing from them this evening when they are going to be. We're going to be live streaming when they come at around. We're going to have an extra special live stream, a special breaking news at around 4:30 p.m. When they would have left, immediately we'll bring you news to you about how they're feeling, how they're doing. Oh, it looks like they're able to come back. Stay tuned, hang on. We're going to see if we can bring them back. It's really fantastic being out here because we really feel like we're on the moon with these communication challenges. But we're going to bring them back, and we're excited. Yeah, we have them back. It's always exciting. Yesterday was a horrible day. As the Queen said, well, she didn't say Annus Horribilis, but the Queen said, is it Dia Horribilis? We had no communication yesterday, and I really felt bereft. I was feeling like, what am I supposed to do? I can't talk to them. I can't talk to anybody. I felt as if I was on the moon, but maybe I was in the ISS and they were on the moon or some version there. So if you would complete your thought, Mission Commander, the floor is yours.
Oh, yes. I was sharing about what we plan on doing after the mission. And I also wanted to acknowledge the 3 astronauts that you may not see here because they were not able to complete the mission. but they actually contributed a lot of the work that you'll be seeing after the mission and everything that has been reported. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is there anything special that you want us to know about preparing to return to the real world? We have heard stories from other analog astronauts that they feel very different from everybody else, that they form a particular bond with their crewmates. When I was at the Analog Astronaut Conference, many of them spoke about this feeling of otherworldliness. So I hope you are preparing to share with us what you're experiencing as you think about what this has meant to spend 10 days more or less in isolation. Yes, you had your music, you had access to your phone, etc., but you weren't completely cut off, but still you were limited to your external physical movements, and that created some stress in you that you had to report on. And a lot of the experiments were about human factors, stress management, isolation management, decision making under stress. In fact, one of the studies was about decision making under stress. So maybe even experience of those who were not able to stand it could actually lend some information to that particular experiment in terms of the decision processing abilities. So we have a lot of learnings I think we can take from this, and I do hope that we'll be able to provide you, the public, with the papers, the research support, and the essays and the personal reflection journals of these history-making young people. And I want to include my MCC people in history making as well. They may not have been isolated to the same extent as the analog astronauts, but this is not, none of them are from this region. None of them are from the desert region. So they had to also acclimatize to a different way of being because they were in support of the analog astronauts. They also could not leave the camp. So they had a different level of, let's call it isolation, but we must also commend them for their level of isolation. I do hope that the mission control specialists who are planning on becoming analog astronauts in full will also reflect on what they have learned from having to have constrained movements for a week. They were not allowed to leave camp, and this is major. So we need to also recognize that they also had constraints different from their normal pattern. And in fact, I really wish, thinking back, we had actually had them to do the experiments as well to see if there's any major difference. Now that would have been something. But there's always a first time. That's something we overlooked. But for us as Mwezi One mission, the first African analog, I do hope that even if they do it after the fact, we want them to fill out that form to say, what did it mean? What kind of isolation level did they feel being constrained in a way they've never been constrained before? In campus, they're free to come and go as they please. And here they were not. So there's some lessons we can also learn to use to train the next crop of young people. Now, remember, folks, before we close, Africa is a very young continent. And so whereas in other established habitats is the norm for older, more seasoned people over 30, 40, 50 to want to be an analog astronaut, we are focused heavily on the younger people in the African continent, getting them prepared because the Africa space industry is just beginning. We're at the early stages yet. And yes, I know some people might say, well, Africa has no analog, no astronaut program. Africa has no rocket lift. We understand that Africa has no rocket lift at present, but we are committed to the vision of space for all humanity. Open Africa is about ensuring that Africa is open to participate in the space economy, the new space economy. And so we at Open Africa are open to partner with anyone interested in joining with the vision that space is for all humanity and to identify African partners. We are here to support you in the research that you want to do in analog research using Africa as a base. We begin in Marsabit, and next year we're moving to Nigeria, but this will continue under the leadership of the organizational partners. So with that, I want to say thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at around 4:30 or so this afternoon, right here in our press briefing room. Take care.